And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and puzzle.
Kia ora, everyone. I just got back from my trip to Canada where I attended the Canadian Jigsaw Puzzle Association's national competition. It was held in Georgetown, just outside of the Greater Toronto area. So much fun. In this video, I'll talk about the individual competition rounds. There were 2 preliminary rounds and a final. It was sponsored by Ravensburger and Puzzles Canada. And so all the puzzles I feel for this competition were actually really good puzzles. Compared to some other puzzles I've seen in some past competitions, these were good puzzles. So individual round 1, preliminary round 1, the jigsaw puzzle was called 2 of a Kind. I didn't think to ask anyone to record their time lapse, so unfortunately I don't have this jigsaw puzzle, so I don't have it to do, but it has been used recently in 2 other competitions as well. They're given 2 hours to complete it. 93 people participated in this first individual round, and the top 24 qualified to go to the finals. What was so exciting is just being there with everyone and watching everyone puzzle and compete. This is Devin on screen right now. She won last year's Canadian national competition, and she finished first in this round. And then here we have Katie on screen, and this gets a bit chaotic, because this is a situation of having missing pieces. So like every other competition, if you have a missing piece, they'll look at the time, they give you 10 seconds. If you can find your missing piece within the 10 seconds, then that'll be your new time. If not, they just add 10 seconds to your time. So you're not like standing around trying to find pieces endlessly, but she actually had 2 missing pieces. But she came in second after all that, and then Sophie finished third. So exciting, so much fun. And Diarn from the Australian Jigsaw Puzzle Association was there, and she had her personal best time, 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 48 seconds. And I got so excited clapping for her that I forgot that I was recording. But I left that footage in because I wanted to show you how excited I was. She was so excited for her personal best. So the top 3 for the first individual puzzle preliminary round were Devin, Katie, and Sophie. Amazing times. And 24 people qualified for finals. Then it was my round, individual round B or 2, and I was so excited to see that we got Postcard from Paris. I was just ecstatic from the get-go because I felt confident. I was like, I got this, I can do this. And so I had my setup that I had been practicing, where to put the box, where to pull out the border pieces, do a full flip, and then build the border, and then grab out pieces from there. Now, you can't really see it on camera, but I did lose control of both of my hands. My tremors were next level out of control, and I am going to go see a doctor about it. Yes, I was nervous. Yes, I was excited, but not to the point that my fingers, they just kept tapping the table. 2 fingers on both hands, tap, 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 for maybe the first 10 to 15 minutes. I felt bad for the person I was puzzling next to. I didn't stay afterwards to talk to them, to apologize, but literally I was tapping the table so loud and I couldn't control it. Eventually, at this point in the time lapse though, I have full control in my hands and I'm doing quite well. I'm very pleased with how the puzzle is coming along. But that frustrated me, that definitely hindered me. And in my mind, I was like, this is not a reflection of my puzzling abilities. This is hindering me. Why? And I was getting mad at myself. Like, why are my hands doing this? Why am I tapping the table? Stop it. And that makes it worse because I'm just, making myself more anxious about the fact that I'm tapping the table and I can't control my hands. So anyway, long story short, about the first 10, 15 minutes were absolutely horrible, trying to flip the pieces as my fingers were just continuously tapping the table. But I got there in the end. Many people came up to me afterwards, and the nicest compliment I got was, "We have no idea how you managed to even finish the puzzle as quickly as you did, considering how bad your hands were shaking." It was very noticeable. People saw it. I'm very open about my tremors though, so many people knew what was going on. You can't really tell in the time lapse, but I did sit down on my hands for a minute or two. I did stretch out my hands, not for a minute or two, more like 10, 20 seconds, I suppose. I sat on my hands. I did stretch my hands out. I tried to calm myself down. Again, this was all within the first 10, 15 minutes of the puzzling experience. And then after that, I was totally on my game. I know, like I absolutely know I could have done this puzzle very close to the hour mark, but I knew that my hands did not cooperate. So I just thought, do the best you can, just keep going. And once I was in the zone, it was really good. The toughest part of this puzzle for me was the lower area of the Eiffel Tower. It's all got like trees and it's greens and purples, and then there's some blues in the water. That for me was the hardest area. Don't know why, I just couldn't decide which pieces went which way, but that was fine. You do see that I sort out a lot of the pieces that have the pink dots. I've moved them to the top of the puzzling area. And there's a lot of white in this puzzle compared to, like, for example, New York Postcard and especially London Postcard. The Eiffel Tower itself doesn't take up a lot of room. So there's a lot more kind of other stuff going on in this jigsaw puzzle apart from the building itself. In fact, you see that I finished the Eiffel Tower almost, quite early on. And that butterfly, why? I don't know why. Like, of course now, watching the time lapse, it looks like, oh, it's all good. That butterfly, I had the wings upside down, just this silly little things. But in the end, I was really pleased. Now, I end up having an extra piece. And I figure it out pretty early on that I have an extra piece. You're gonna eventually see it on the side of the puzzle. And I just whisper lowly to the person puzzling next to me. I said, look, I have an extra piece. I'm not sure if it's yours. I'm just going to put it here. So that's there. I just did it, and I moved that piece right next to the green line dividing our tables. But I didn't want to distract her too much that she's like, oh, is that my piece? So at the end, when I was done my puzzle, I knew where that piece went, and I looked at her puzzle, and I could tell she had that piece already in place. So I actually said to her, it's not your piece, don't worry about it. So I did get one extra piece in my puzzle. Maybe it was an extra piece for good luck, who knows? But it does, trick you up when you got extra pieces or missing pieces. But it happens. And right now I'm down to all these white pieces. And there's some purpley design, but there's a lot more background design in this puzzle. I am going to practice this one over and over and over again because I'm convinced myself, no other reason why, that this is going to appear at Worlds in one of the preliminary rounds. I just have a feeling. So again, we had 2 hours. There were 93 people in our round, and the top only 23 qualified to go to the finals. My time in the end, I was really, I'm frustrated but pleased. It was 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 50 seconds. And I have to be happy with that considering what happened with my hands. I missed out on qualifying by 28 seconds. So I came in 25th out of 93 people. Very, very pleased with that. Missed out qualifying by 28 seconds. It's a beautiful puzzle. There you see the extra piece. And Megan finished first. And there Reese, my teammate from Australia, came in third. Great times. Fun puzzle. Absolutely loved it. Now I'm a bit confused. This is the finals puzzle. It's called Hello Vinyl. Love it. And I'm confused because the first round, 24 people qualified. The second round, 23 people qualified. But when I look up the results for the finals, only 45 people are in the finals when I thought it should be 47. So I'm not sure if people couldn't make it or dropped out or whatnot, but we have 45 results from the finals. Again, I am so excited to say I got a copy of this jigsaw puzzle. And I should have thought to ask Reese to film his time lapse because that would have been amazing to watch. But in the end, I got a copy of this puzzle, so I was able to come home and do it. Now you're going to see on screen, most everyone does that blue vinyl LP first. Do you think I did that first when I built the jigsaw puzzle? No, of course not. So here I am at home, and I decided it's such a busy enough puzzle, I'm going to build as I sort. And I literally just build this puzzle. And I sort out those blue pieces to the end, and that upper dark LP corner with all the black, I sort those pieces out to the end as well. I love this puzzle. And to me, I think this puzzle would be more difficult than Postcard from Paris. Now, knowing I got an hour 7 and 50 seconds on Postcard from Paris, but in a competition setting where I'm nervous, here I'm not nervous, my hands are not shaking, I have music on in the background, I'm doing really well. Should I go back to listening to music in headphones? I have no idea. I honestly don't know at this point what I can do to make my hands cooperate in a competition setting, honestly. Because just quickly I'll tell you, when it came to doing pairs and teams, my hands were fine. I was a little nervous, but it was fine. It's that individual competition getting in my own head, and I just lose control of my hands and the tremors go nuts. So here is my stereotypical build as I sort chaotic puzzling, which I absolutely love, completely different. So I thought to myself, it's going to take me longer than Postcard from Paris, regardless of being in a competition setting or not. I was hoping to get around the 1 hour, 15-minute mark. So in the finals, 45 people, they all completed the jigsaw puzzle in time. Were they given 90 minutes? Well, they all completed it definitely under 90 minutes. I think the 45th person completed it in like an hour 14. You can see all the results on the World Jigsaw Puzzle Organization's website. If you go to results, you can look at Canada 2024. By the way, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but for the individual round 1, 2 of a kind puzzle, 80 people out of 93 finished the puzzle in time in the 2 hours. And then in the individual round 2, Postcard from Paris, 89 of the 93 people finished the jigsaw puzzle in the 2 hours. So I do feel that Postcard from Paris was an easier jigsaw puzzle, an easier image than the 2 of a kind. Now, of course, getting to the finals, doing this Hello Vinyl, you have all the top puzzlers puzzling. I think this was a good one to pick for the finals. I think it was more difficult than the other 2. So this was lots of fun. I'm really excited that I got a copy of it because it's not for sale yet. Neither is Postcard from Paris. And so I'm actually loving the puzzling experience here, but I have no idea how much time it's taking me. And I'm just using the image like I normally do, puzzling like I normally do. I'm leaving some pieces on the bottom of the box, the dark pieces, leaving them to the end. And just bringing the puzzle together. This is my style of puzzling. Again, I'm standing the whole time, my poor back, oh goodness. You can see how I've piled up all those blue pieces over to the side, but I am doing the arm of the record player and I am doing the center of that blue LP. But it just makes me wonder why, like, everyone else was gravitated towards those blue pieces. And perhaps at the competition, I think most everyone did a full flip. And I didn't do a full flip on this one. I just felt if I did a full flip, there'd be so much to look at and I wouldn't know what to focus on and I'd feel overwhelmed. So just doing one piece at a time, I was happy. So what do you think? My time for Paris Postcard, or Postcard from Paris, whatever it's called, was an hour, 7 minutes, 50 seconds, but in a competition, chaotic setting for me. This one comfortable at home. I believe a more difficult puzzle. I was hoping to do around the 1 hour, 15-minute mark. I did really well on this jigsaw puzzle. I was so happy. And I nearly got it under the 1 hour mark. I was so close. 1 hour, 1 minute, 55 seconds, people. How is that possible? I don't understand. I really think I can't perform in a competition setting. Like I struggle with the pressure and the tremors get triggered. There is no way I would have expected Hello Vinyl to be that much faster than Postcard from Paris. And that's all to do with competition setting, tremors in my hands. Being relaxed versus being, nervous. And so I'm going to practice Hello Vinyl and Postcard from Paris over and over again because I feel they could make an appearance in the preliminary rounds at Worlds. But look at the finals. Amazing. We have a new Canadian champion, Megan, 41 minutes. Insane. So pleased with Reese's performance. He finished 7th overall. He did amazing. His time was just over 49 minutes. Oh, so much fun. And everyone was so happy. Devin came in, I believe, 4th. And in fact, between 3rd, 4th, and 5th, just seconds apart. You can see all the results again on the World Jigsaw Puzzle Federation's website. The best part of the competition, like always, meeting everyone, getting to puzzle with everyone, watching better puzzlers puzzle, and getting tips and tricks and techniques from them. I really enjoyed puzzling with Ula, Sarah, and Reese. Just amazing to see how their brains work and how fast they can be. And Diarne, adorable. She got her personal best. I think a lot of people did so well at this individual competition because the puzzles were fun to do. Everybody, I hope, had an amazing time. I had an amazing time, even though I was so tired and jet lagged. And overall, I am pleased with how I did. I was just frustrated with my hands because I felt it didn't reflect my puzzling capabilities. So I am going to talk to my doctor and see what potentially I can do for the tremors. My sister looked up something recently and she said if you wear wrist weights, so actually weigh down my hands because you know that's going to help me puzzle faster, but actually wearing wrist weights could help with the tremors and help prevent your hand from shaking so much. So I might look into that. I'm not too excited about potentially going to medication, but we'll see what happens. I'll keep you all posted. But how much fun was this competition? Best part was meeting you all. I had an absolute blast. The next video, I'll cover pairs and then teams. So much fun to puzzle with other people. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my little recap here. And until next time, ciao!